that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
We're back on Barangas. I don't really know why, but when I log out, I always log out on a bed. I don't know, it just makes sense to me. But Barangas got straight to work taming his bear. And I was just getting low on ammo, so I had to buy some more heavy shots. And then it looked like my taming lesson was over. And now it looks like I had to head back to Ironforge. Now that I had my new pet, I wanted to figure out how I could dismiss it and summon it. And it didn't take me long to find the dismiss button. I then realized I probably needed another hotbar space, so I went into the settings and had to figure out how to add another hotbar, and it took a little while, but you know, I got there eventually. And then I started adding like all my pet commands and stuff to my hotbar, which is gonna be really useful. And then I tried to call my pet, and well, yeah. And dude's just gone, he's just out of there. I must have clicked the wrong dismiss button, I don't know. So I have to go out and find another companion, and I ended up taming this winter wolf. I mean, to be fair, he's pretty cool too. I thought I'd stop for a second and see if I unlocked any new abilities, and that's when I found it. I found it out of leatherwork! It was here the whole time. I don't know if I'm stupid, but I finally found it. So as I made my way to Ironforge, I saw that my wolf was quite unhappy, but then I saw that I can actually rename my wolf, which is sick. So I renamed my wolf Lobo. If you know, you know. And the first thing I did was make my way to the leatherworking place, where I bought some coarse thread, and then finally started to use all this leather that I've been stockpiling the whole time, not knowing that I could just make stuff from my inventory. And I also made some of these armor kit things, which I could apply to my armor, and it gives it like more defense or something. Man, this is so cool. It's so cool like making your own armor. But after that, I had to continue with my mission and learn how to use the pets. Then I began the process of learning how to train my pet, but I still didn't know how to feed my pet. I mean, I tried clicking on food in my inventory and clicking on my pet, but it didn't work. But now I guess it does work. I literally asked this dude how to feed my pet and then instantly did it right in front of his eyes. Oh, man. And as I was getting ready to leave Ironforge, I found it. The auction house. I mean, I wasn't really looking for it, but I'm still pretty excited to actually be able to buy some stuff. And by stuff, I mean bags, because I need more inventory space. And I also noticed this shotgun that I can buy, but I just didn't quite have enough money. But after that, I continued on with my journey and started testing out my wolf on the wildlife in the area, and man, it is so sick having a pet. But then I noticed that when I started attacking this wolf, my wolf was nowhere to be seen. I had no idea where it was, and then it just kind of bounded on over from the distance. It turns out that I had it on stay, and I left it like down the river. But anyway, I fixed that, and now everything worked fine. Soon after, I decided to make my way back to the quarry. I mean, this place was still pretty damn spooky, but I saw some other people here, so I thought I might be able to try my luck. And I mean, this place is just so dodgy. You know, I went for it, I entered the cave, and I mean, there was just a mass of corpses. It was like a grave site in this cave. And I decided that it's not worth it, so I just turned around and left. So I headed further on down the road, and I saw these bone snappers. And I wondered if they would also count towards my quest. But when I sent in my wolf, it turned out to be a very bad idea because they all grouped up and started attacking my Lobo. And Lobo died. And I wanted to see if I could go revive him or something. But man, these things were not finished with me yet. They came running after me and I just booked it, man. These things are scary. But shortly after looking through my spellbook, I did see that I had a revive pet option. And I pulled Lobo's soul back from the afterlife. And then I also fed him some boar ribs or something. But now it was time to make my way back to this area. And quite honestly, I was still spooked because I know that a trog could just be hiding in any bush. But as I came up to the bush that almost cost me my life, I saw that this trog had just been freshly slain by this mountaineer. And I mean, come on, sit down, kid. And then making my way to the village, I ended up finding this quest called rat catching. I mean, come on, man. Heading into the wilderness, I made my way through until I found the rat camp. It's so dodgy because I know if I attack one that they're all gonna attack me. Oh, man. So I thought before I do that, maybe I could try out the Griffin Master and make my way back to Ironforge, but it cost 1 silver. So I have to go to the old shop and sell a bunch of my stuff, and then paid for my flight to Ironforge. And one detail that I really liked is when you fly into Ironforge, you fly through all these little like secret tunnels up the top. And I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. But anyway, I went back to the leatherworker where I started learning some more recipes. And I ended up making this really good vest. And I'm actually surprised because the armor that I make is actually really good compared to the other armor that I have. It's a lot better. But more importantly, I now had enough money to buy my new shotgun. And while I was here, I also bought some healing potions. Luckily from playing retail, I knew the items would be in my mailbox. But then someone whispered to me asking me to invite them to a group. So I thought, yeah, sure, why not? So I invited them to my group. And then like a second later, they just left. I mean, I don't know, man. Not really sure what that was about. But but I was pretty dang excited to claim my new shotgun. So I claimed it from the auction house and equipped my new shotgun. And then I just found this dude who was just dead in the middle of Ironforge. Like, come on, man. But finishing up in Ironforge, I made my way back to the village, where it was finally time to test out my new weapon and put an end to these tunnel rats. And this new gun was a lot better. Seeing that all the rats in the camp were dead from other players, I decided to head out to see if I could find some more. And a little further down the road, I did find another camp, and I finally started collecting these tunnel rat ears. Carrying on with my usual skinning business, I was just skinning this boar, minding my own business, and then all of a sudden, my pet had run away. And of course, I didn't actually notice this, and I tried to battle. I was wondering where my pet was, and my pet hadn't died. I had no idea where it had gone. So I guess I had to find a replacement, so I just went and tamed this mountain boar, which I guess we'll have to do for now. So I went to rename my new boar pet, and went to name him Bongus. But apparently Blizzard doesn't like that name. So I had a guess and changed the O to a U, and yeah, that was the problem. Continuing my exploration, I found this house. And I ended up finding this new quest where this guy wanted me to go to the city of Stormwind. And I mean, the reward was 6 silver, so I mean, I kind of had to do it, right? So I opened up the old map to see if I could find Stormwind. I didn't remember where it was, so I had to kind of search around for a long time, but eventually I found it. It was the castle here. But before I would make my journey to Stormwind, I decided to head back to Ironforge because I wanted to see if I could buy any new abilities. And there's this one called Wing Clip, which slows the enemy. I mean, I think this is really important. And looking through, there were some axes, but they're just a little bit too expensive for me right now. So I decided just to Hearthstone back. I made my way back to Rat Camp, where I'll try to lure out just one rat. But of course, that did not work. And once again, I found myself in danger. Why do I keep doing this, man? It's so... My heart can't take it. I can't. My heart just cannot take this any longer. Oh, man. This... But anyway, I had to carry on. And I made my way back to the rat camp again and got back to work trying to kill these little rat bastards. And while I was here, I saw this other dude that was killing them, so I thought I'd help him out. So I told him that I'd protect them from the rats. And then all of a sudden, he traded me and gave me these cool green pants. I mean, I was stoked. I mean, I haven't had any green items yet, so I mean, this was actually really cool. So I said thank you to the young gnome and equipped my new pants. And then I got back to work slaying all these rats. But while I was killing these little tunnel rats, I did notice that my ammo was getting quite low. So I made my way back to this village to see if I could find some ammo. So I basically just started searching around the entire village. And I found this mining dude who had a quest for me to go to Ironforge to get some like pickaxes or something. So I accepted it. And then got back to my mission of looking for more ammo. And luckily, it actually didn't take very long until I found this house. And when I entered, I found the gunsmith and bought myself a lot of ammo. And making my way back to the rat camp, I collected the final tunnel rat ear. And I was very happy to finally hand in the quest that almost killed me. For like the 6th time, I went back to Ironforge. I went to this dude and collected those pickaxes. Returned here to do a little bit more leather making. And then I went to the auction house where I finally bought myself a new axe. So heading back over to the mailbox, I collected my new axe and equipped it. And you know, I feel like I'm actually making good progress. So once again, flying back to the village, I went over to the mining dude and handed over the pickaxes and completed the quest. And then I decided I'd call it a day. So I headed over to the inn and Barangus fell asleep. But today was a new day for Barangus. I decided I would finally head towards Stormwind. But making my way down this road, I ended up finding another quest. And he would give me a cheese reward. And this dude in this house also had another quest for me. By keeping my mind on the mission, I made my way south to head to Stormwind. But then I made my way to this gate, and it was very locked. I couldn't get through. And talking to this mountaineer, it looked like there was no way for me to get through. So instead, I decided to do the other quest. And while I was killing these trogs for the quest, this guy suddenly invited me to his group and said that it was best that we go together. So working together, we started wiping out the rat trog population. Pretty soon after, I had finished my quest. As a parting gift, I decided to trade my new friend and then kind of looked through my inventory for something to give him and decided I'd give him this healing potion because, this place is super dangerous. The trogs are no joke. And saying farewell, I got the hell out of there. Turning to Dwarf Dude and handing in my quest. And of course, as I'm like leaving the house, there's a new quest to go back to the same place and kill even more trogs. I literally just left that guy. So I returned and I had to go further up the hill. But no, they were way too spooky for me. I decided I needed to search for some more quests, so I headed to this tunnel in the north. Exiting the tunnel, I found myself in this place called the Wetlands, and that's when I noticed that the things here are level 19, so I very swiftly turned around and went straight back into the tunnel that I just came out of. And every time I passed this bush, I just killed a trog. I have to. I gotta do it. And I needed to find a way to get to Stormwind, so I decided to go into the inn and ask this person here how to get to Stormwind. So finding this person here, I asked them how I could get to Stormwind, because obviously the gates were locked. And then they told me to beg. And I wasn't sure if they meant beg them, or like beg the person at the gate, but then they told me that my kind wasn't welcome in the king's land. This is messed up. But I was adamant. I said I had a quest, I had to go. It looks like we're finally getting somewhere. They told me to go to Ironforge and lay down on the tram tracks. I said thank you for the valuable information, traded them a glass of milk, and left to make my way to Ironforge. I had no other leads at this point, so it was kind of the only thing I could do. And man, I'm making this Griffin Master rich the amount of times I fly to Ironforge. But while I was in Ironforge, I went back to the auction house, and I decided to finally buy some more bag space. Finally. But as I was running to the mailbox, I realized something. I've noticed that my pet has been leveling up, but I haven't seen any new abilities or anything, so I must be doing something wrong. So I thought maybe I made the same mistake that I did with leatherworking, so I looked through my abilities and I found an entire list of pet abilities that I hadn't unlocked. And I had like 31 points, man. So long overdue, I started getting all these new abilities and buffs for Bungus. And then I talked to this guard over here and I saw mention of the tram. Completely forgetting to collect the bags I just bought, I went to look for the tram. And it took me to this place called Tinkertown. And then I went through this tunnel with this cool like optical illusion. And now it looked like I was in the right place, but it seemed that the tram hadn't actually arrived yet. And I have this curiosity to know like what will kill me. I was wondering if I jumped in the tracks and the tram came, if it would kill me, but I decided not to do that. But instead found this quest called Deep Run Rat Roundup, and I was the Pied Piper to these rats, collecting them up. And I just need the XP at this point, so I just gotta do any quests that are possible. And after that, I decided to take a seat and wait for the tram. And after a little bit of time, the tram arrived, and I was ready to take my ride, hopefully, to Stormwind. The tram ride's actually pretty cool. You go like underwater and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. But reaching its destination, I got off the tram. Completed this quest over here for some rat kebabs, and then made my way back through the spooky tunnel and into Stormwind. And it looks like even though the person told me to lay on the tracks, it did help me get to Stormwind, so it was worth it, I guess. But anyway, running around Stormwind, right round the corner was actually the person that I needed to speak to, which was awesome. So I completed this quest and claimed my 6 silver. While I was here, I decided to look around for a bit, because even in retail, I've only been in Stormwind like once. And by exploring, I ended up finding this leather armor shop, but everything was way too high level and really expensive. So I decided just to carry on through the town, looking for some more quests. And I found this dude who would offer me free booze. So basically I had to look around Stormwind to try find there's a wine shop, and I didn't see it on the map, but oh man, I had to search around all the canals to try find this stupid wine shop. People have said I could download an add-on, but nah. But anyway, I found the wine shop, claimed my bottle of booze, and downed that shit instantly. And this booze must have been some strong stuff, because not too long after drinking it, something happened. Yeah, my game just crashed. I don't know if that's coincidence or if I just got fucking roofied. Logging back in, I carried on my journey, where I'd leave Stormwind to try find some more quests. And going down the road, I ended up finding some more quests. And this dude here had a quest for me in a place called Westfall. And I had to find like a tower or something. I found one over here, but this one definitely wasn't the right one. So continuing down the road, I made my way into the new land of Westfall. where I found these farmers who reward me with basically a shit ton of bread and milk. So I had to accept. But to do this quest, I had to go into this house over here, but there were so many monsters around, it was too dodgy. So I just continued down the road looking for this tower, which, I found it. I found it eventually, and handed in my quest to this dude, and then accepted some new ones. But one thing I noticed pretty quickly is all the monsters in this area are higher level than me, and the zone just next to me, I was over leveling everything, but this place, nope, everything just can kill me instantly. Like, this thing just jumped me, man. It's just spooky. But luckily, I managed to kill it, even though it was 2 levels ahead of me. But what made me realize that I should probably leave this area is when I saw this thing. A dust devil that was level 19. That was the moment that I decided I'm getting out of here. I do not want to stay here any longer. And I think that the game was showing me plenty of signs to leave. But then I realized I still had the milk quest. And I thought, you know what? I'm sure I can do just this one. So I ran around all the monsters to try and get into the house. And it didn't look so bad, you know? These boars weren't aggressive, which was good. So I just had to sneak into the house, get in, take the watch, and get out. It was an easy, quick job. So I thought. And basically, I'm gonna shut up and let you see what's about to play out. And unfortunately for Barangus, his journey has come to an end. Nah, I'm just kidding. But what the hell? Why did they run away? How did this happen? I don't know if I'm just super lucky, but they just kind of just left. I'm so surprised. Like, oh, it's this game. I can't. My heart can't take it. I can't take this anymore, man. So after that encounter, I just booked my way out of this area as fast as possible, and made my way back to the stupid inn. I then went up these stairs, and then looked for a room that I could use, and yeah, I basically just got in the bed, and logged out. Oh man. I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this.
2 times 2 is 4. That's Dominican girls galore. Got really good skin, I glow. Let 'em know, let 'em know, let 'em know. Is that money on the line? Hello. Get the band, it's a real MO. Guess I made another hit once more. I let 'em know, let 'em know, let 'em know.